Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic plus New Classics. This episode 1990, and Doubleshot number 1884. I have two DC trades, and both of them feature characters from Batman comics. First up it is War for Earth 3. Yes, a cross between three titles, two of whom are no longer being published right now. Yes, seriously. Basically the whole crossover is this. We have the War for Earth 3. We have the two one-shots that she's going to. Suicide Squad, I believe this is done 713, Flash 780, and Teen Titans 13. Yeah, Suicide Squad Teen Titans are no longer published. Now, Robin Thompson obviously does this for Suicide Squad. Tim Sheridan does Titans Academy. We also does Hopeless, and Jimmy Adams does, I believe he does Flash. The artwork here is done by Karen McCullen, Dexter Bean, Bill Conrad, Thomas Lorenz, Steve Potts, Dexter Soy, the artist in the Red and Outlaw series, and the artist, Edward Pasica, Laura Ferreira, Brent Peppers, and Arrow Adabasi. The cover art here is by Rafael Salvador and Alex Sinclair. Now, the story for this one is this. Where that this book basically this is one thing I should point out, this is the second time that Suicide Squad and Teen Titans Academy had did a crossover. Last time was basically pretty pointless. It was all about finding who Red X. This is more interesting. You could say this whole mini-series, this whole mini-event was basically the start of things to the Criminal Syndicate mini-series. Which I haven't read yet, but I've heard in the future. You're probably thinking, this Nightwing was dead set of the story. Is there any issue of his series part of this crossover? Nope. Yeah, that's kind of the dumb thing about this. Now, story basically is like you have the Criminal Syndicate with room or 3. We have it where Superwoman, who apparently in this timeline is Donna Troy. Oh yeah, and still married to Superman. Now, here's the thing about Superwoman. Usually, she's been many different people. Mostly, she's been Lois Lane, who's Amazon. This time, first time, she's been Donna Troy. Oh, yeah, and by the way, she's sleeping with Owlman to make Ultraman jealous. Yeah, and he apparently is more interested in what's going on with his wife and his best friend than another woman who apparently decided to invade Earth 3. Amanda Waller, who decided to take Power Ring hostage, and then she took Owlman hostage just to get Ultraman's attention. Yes, seriously. And also, apparently, Black Hand revived Johnny Quick. Yeah, and Black Siren does play a role in this book. Black Siren is from Earth 3. The character Black Siren herself is based upon the character from the Arrow, basically, the character first appeared on an episode of The Flash. And then she was moved over to... I don't think she moved to Arrow that I can think of. I think she was mostly just a recurring character on other stuff. And she mostly fought her own Earth 3 people. And basically, Waller was just here just to cause chaos of this whole thing. Now, we also have... Black Hand does play a minor role in this, so he basically just brings back and kind of... How the heck does Flash get drawn into this specific nonsense on Earth 3? Well, that's because he decided to basically break into the Flash scene and kind of basically borrow copy the suit of Mirror Master. And that's how he got Earth 3. There's also the Teen Titans Academy stuff, which is really pretty good here. This whole crossover is actually pretty good here. For the most part, and Manowar has her team, which is basically her Suicide Squad, which is consisted of, it's basically a big team of people that she brings with her. Most of her team is comprised of Black Hand, yes, Black Hand. We also have Bloodsport. He gets killed off in the story. Looks like gunfire and like a few other people. Yeah, by the end of the story, Ultraman gets into the Phantom Zone, and Mandalore gets thrown with Justice League. Yeah. We have appearance here by Clayface. Yes, freaking Clayface on Earth Zero. Oh yeah, Bloodshot is part of not Amanda's Suicide Squad, Rick Flag's Suicide Squad. His Peacemaker, Nocturna, Ambush Bug, I think Mirror Master, and Sabrina. Well, Waller consisted of, well, one person on the team is Talon. Yes, Talon in front of the roster. Along with Matt, sure, they kind of made him this version of Bizarro, which at the end of the story he does get his own Superman suit, and well, she kind of becomes the ruler of Earth 3. My guess is this is probably a way to write her off, per se, because the Super Squad series was ending at that point, so it's got to be some other character. But this is overall a really fun story. It just seems that quite odd. Now, you probably would think that it's odd that, now, Suicide Squad makes perfect sense. Teen Titans Academy doesn't make much sense. Flash kind of makes sense because he could basically travel without problem thanks to changing vibration. This was an interesting story to say the least. You know this only came out just as early this year? Yeah. I give this book a 9 out of 10. Pretty good story for what it is. Alright, next up it is Batman Dark Prince Charming. And as you can tell, it's a big book compared to, this is basically Warrior 3. It is bigger. This contains a 2-issue miniseries, which it's part of the Black Label imprint. Now, here's the thing. This actually is one miniseries I do not remember reading before getting this trade. I just saw it at my local comic shop. I looked at getting it, but usually it never really caught my head to get this book. But then, of course, my little other guy, I think it's the only thing there. Most of the story for this one is this, where the biggest plot of it basically focuses on the Joker, and we celebrate Harley Quinn's birthday, and she's not turned on the fact that he basically gave her as a present a necklace full of teeth. And she's like, no, if I want jewelry, I want to have a necklace made out of jewelry, not teeth. And then Joker is like mad at her for doing that, so how is he responding to it? Massacring his own freaking gang, with the exception of one guy. And also, apparently Bruce Wayne had a daughter with one of them, which that's interesting. Yes, and his daughter only appears as miniseries. And at one point, the woman gets kidnapped, went into a coma, and she apparently was really in the miniseries she couldn't wake up against, so Batman decided to adopt the girl as his own daughter. And they also keep it in here where Batman is basically seeing Selene Kyle. And this one apparently was from his past, and apparently, here's the strange thing, we never actually proved that this girl was actually his daughter. He just took responsibility, because, well, he knew the mother. It's never confirmed this miniseries. He took a DNA test to prove the fact this was in fact his daughter. She says it's his daughter, and it's never confirmed if she actually is, just that she was adopted by him by the end of the miniseries. This actually is pretty good. I never expect to see a Black Label series. It was this good. Now, surprisingly, this might be under the Black Label imprint. This book, surprisingly, it's done by Mark Carey, which I gotta admit, this actually is a really good artwork. Look at it. That's a beautiful Batman. Here's the strange thing about this book. Based on his suit, you could, and the way this artwork is done, it's almost implied you could basically set this. At first, you could set it simply in the universe of Batman Arkham Asylum. But I think this is mostly just set in its own timeline, but I love the gorgeous skyscape here. Yeah, surprisingly, the bat signal is actually, the spotlight is smaller than it normally is. Joker, for some reason, looks like he wears makeup. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Now, aside from having Joker in here and Harley Quinn, like, so basically here are your regular characters who normally are bad characters in this book. Batman himself, Catwoman, Joker, Harley Quinn, Commissioner Gordon. I believe that was it, because they never had anybody else in the miniseries. Well, they have some guy who thinks he's Killer Croc. More awesome Skylight stuff, really good here. Yeah, surprisingly not many others, but if I would basically have this artist do a back book, or at least any book for these comics, I would say, yes, put this artist in the book. This artwork is good. The artwork I give a 10 out of 10 because it's gorgeous. I love it. The story itself, I give that a 9.5 out of 10. Pretty good here. Yep. So yeah, that's it for the review. So the next week is going to be who's the good channel to see. I'm also doing some manga reviews now. Okay. But